In this video, you're going to learn how to animate a run cycle in 2D using Callipeg. First, we need to do some research and find references. My first reference here is this video from Alan Baker. You will find other examples in the book Animator Survival Kit from Richard Williams, which includes a specific part about runs and jumps. With these examples of breakdown animation, I am able to animate a rough version of the legs and pelvis. I make 4 drawings. 1 contact pose when the heel touches the ground, 1 passing pose when the legs come over one another, 1 up pose when one foot is up in the air and the other leg is stretched, a second up pose when both feet don't touch the ground. Those 2 last poses add some lightness to the run cycle. The character will be in the air for a longer period of time. When you're running, you actually spend more than half of the time without touching the ground. I duplicate these 4 images and I adapt the drawing to alternate the right and left leg. To do so, I erase and add some parts of the pelvis in specific sheets. Duplicating the drawings allows me to work faster and to have a more consistent design, since each drawing is exactly the same. However, this is a rough pass. Shapes are not always right and the volume needs adjustments. I make a first test for the animation of one arm, then the other. I'm not convinced by the result because it seems that some poses are too close to each other, timing and spacing wise. Why not trying a character without arms? One version with 1 eye and 1 version with 2 eyes. But it seems important for my character to have arms, to show the run cycle as I want to show it. So I'm looking for another solution. I try longer arms, then rounder arms. It is difficult to find the correct spacing, the space between frames to get a pleasing movement at the right speed. Here are the final arm poses I made. I duplicate the right arm sheets to make the left arm, so they have the same shape, and I move the sheets in the timing to get the alternate motion. Regarding the head, I animate it in a fixed location with 4 poses. I try different solutions until I have a movement I like for the breathing. Then I use the transformation layer to move the head. Here, it has to be out of sync with the body. It goes up when the body goes down, and vice versa, to get this bouncing effect. The rough animation is now complete. I take a step back from it for a few hours before getting to the clean. I keep a constant thickness to my line by switching off the pressure control size brush parameter. This is a graphic choice, it depends on what you want. On another layer I draw an oval for the pelvis, which I copy-paste and move accordingly to the rough under it. That way the pelvis is always identical and my design is consistent. I draw the right leg, the one in front of us, I erase the pelvis leg junction and then draw the left leg. I add thinner lines to define the gloves, shoes and the zipper of the tracksuit. Once the clean is done, it's time for coloring. I advise to use a limited number of colors. 1 for the skin, 1 for the hat and the pants, 1 for the tracksuit top, 1 for the shoes and the gloves, 1 for the dividing lines, and 1 for the open mouth. I have 6 colors that are reused in different parts, but it stays simple. A nice way to work is to have 1 layer per color in order to change them quickly with an alpha lock if needed. The ground is very simple, 1 drawing with a consistent line thickness. The line is uneven with some empty spaces. I extend this sheet to fit the length of the animation and I split it to the same timing on 2s. I move the ground sheet after sheet to create its motion. It's important to stay on 2s for the ground as well, so that it moves only when the character moves. The background is also simple, 1 sky color and 1 mountain. The sheets are timed on 2s as well, because I need to erase some part of the background according to the motion of the ground. Finally, I change the color of the canvas to a cold color, because my character is running during winter. The animation is now finished after around 5 hours of work. With this shot, I learned a lot about simplification in every area. Limited number of posing, clarity of the silhouettes, limited number of color, and global expressiveness with a few lines. If you are interested in using Callipeg on your iPad, you can find it on your App Store and try it for free for 7 days. You will have access to all the tools used to make this animation, such as transformation layers and a versatile timeline. You will find the link to Callipeg under the video, as well as links to the resources I talked about at the beginning of the lesson. Feel free to suggest upcoming tutorials by sharing your ideas in the comments. Thank you for watching and have fun animating with Callipeg.